NEET 2020 is, don't know that when it is going to schedule, but for the students, those who are wishing to appear for the NEET 2022 examination, means the student, those who are now in class 11th, for them is obviously going to be something normal. We have to expect everything as normal by that time. And in NEET 2022, if the syllabus is going to be the same, means without any cut or something like that, in that cases you need to cover entire of the NCERT book. Okay, because CBSE has declared some of the topic to be comparatively less asked in the exam. Means it is not like that they have deleted the syllabus. They are just saying that we are not going to ask the questions from such and such topic. But as we have studied some of the chapters earlier, like in morphology, I told you about the family Fabaceae, and I was saying that that time that this Fabaceae family, you have studied a lot about Fabaceae in the previous topics as well. Means from the root onwards you started studying about Fabaceae family, right? So how we can say this thing that Fabaceae family is not in the syllabus? Actually, description of the Fabaceae family is only a kind of recollecting the term from beginning to the end. That's it. So this is how you need to know each and everything, and please omit that kind of consideration, or don't at all, you need not to think about that kind of things in your mind that the CBSE has reduced the syllabus, NTA is obviously going to reduce the syllabus for the examination. It's not like that. Okay. So the problem with most of the students come, problem number 2, that they are not able to perform well in the exam because they haven't completed their syllabus as they used to tell. When they are telling these things that we haven't completed the syllabus or we were not well prepared for the from the revision, the reason is they were preparing it from the book. No, for the revision a textbook is not at all recommended. So from where the revision should be done? It must be done from the class notes. If you are going to make your class notes regularly, you can concise them or make short notes out of them, and you can revise those notes before your examination. It will take lesser time and most of the concepts can be retained. But when you are going to read the book, at that time you are not at all able to retain each and every line, each and every example, each and everything, every statement from the book. So instead of focusing on the reading of book before the examination, it is better to go through the short notes that you have made from your class notes. So be regular to watch the classes, prepare your class notes so that you can increase your efficiency of learning, and definitely it is going to help you to become more accurate. In the coming classes we will tell you about that how to overcome other kind of problems as well. You are watching Yupp Master. The Yupp Master is providing the excellent guidance, teaching for the student, those who are the aspirants for JEE and NEET exams and other competitive exams as well. So download the Yupp Master app, have the daily practice paper with the weekend paper as well, the study material of the topics to be taught, and all the things available which is needed for your focused study. So here we start. Today's topic is in continuation of the previous one, that is the living world. Okay, so now about the living world, as we have discussed in the previous class, certain defining features of living. It is a quick recap that out of these 5 which we have studied, which can be considered in all living beings, which is considered only in the living. Okay, that kind of thing. Here is the table, a comparison of different defining features among living and non-living. Whether anything is present in non-living as well. Yeah, that is growth actually. So growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, consciousness, these all are present in living beings. Yeah, true. But remember one thing. Here you need to remember one thing. What? That out of these 5, the last 3 are found in all living plus only in living. So you can state them as defining property. And by the way, here you can say growth, which is present in all living, no doubt. But not as defining property of living. Why? Because it can be seen in non-living as well. Okay, because it can be seen in non-living as well. So be sure about the lines that I have mentioned here, that obviously reproduction is not found in all living beings. This is exclusive to living, no doubt, but exclusive to living will be reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, consciousness as well. Exclusive to living, because growth is present in both. Exclusive in living means that these things, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization and consciousness, are not observed in non-living things, right? So this is how we can summarize. Okay, those are the theory lines. You need to learn from the table itself. Just you need to write it once. In the short notes, you just need to remember only about this box, right? Okay, fine. So there are different type of living organism in our surroundings, and those living organisms are going to perform the activities. See what activities? They are interacting with the organism of their own kind. They are showing interactions with the organisms of other type in their surroundings. In that cases, we say that all of them actually different type of organisms, whatever type organism, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, dissimilar kinds, like human, cat, dog, rat, parrot, sparrow, crow, horse, donkey, monkey. These all, if I am going to compare, they all are same in one aspect. What? Being living, they must have genetic material. Being living, they must have the genetic material. Now that genetic material is actually what? If anyone is going to ask the chemical nature of the genetic material, I hope you people have studied in the class 10th itself, and in the class 10th itself it was told to you that DNA is the genetic material. That DNA is genetic material. So all organisms are possessing DNA. However, this DNA is responsible for first the regulation of all the functions that we are performing in our environment, for ourselves and with the other ones. Heredity means human is going to bear human beings, or I am a human being because my parents are human. It is because of heredity. And the other third character is that being genetic material, it undergoes evolution. Okay, whereas the other part of the cell consists of cytoplasm, which is considered to be the place where metabolic reactions are taking place. As I told you very clearly, metabolism means the interaction between the molecules. Now this is most important thing. Interaction between molecules. Okay, if we are saying these things, that interaction between molecules is going to take place, that's why we have studied in the previous class as well that the life, or you can say the organization, biological organization, starts from the level of what? Molecules. From molecules means molecules interact, then to cell, then to organisms, then to what? Population. This is the level of biological organization. These are levels of biological organization. Thereafter community and the other things. So we are saying the life originated because of the interaction among the molecules, and all of the function that we are exhibiting in our surrounding is because of what? Interaction between molecules, right? Means I am going to release CO2 to the surroundings. In that case is what? In that cases I will say that CO2 is coming from the reaction which is similarly performed in a aerobic bacteria also. Here we say that living organisms are self-replicating. Okay, they are going to form their own copy, means reproduction. Second, evolving and self-regulating. They undergo evolution as per the need of the environment. Second, self-regulation, interactive system, means they regulate themselves, they are able to maintain their body. And thirdly, here we say interactive systems, means they interact with the surroundings. Okay, that is the difference. Capable of responding to the external stimuli. Whatever happening in the surrounding is responded by them. So here I can say one thing very clearly, and what is that? That the simple thing is that if I am considering a kind of reaction C6H12O6 plus 6O2 is going to give 6CO2 plus 6H2O with a huge amount of energy liberation. People call this equation for respiration. People call this equation for respiration. Okay. So if it is about respiration, then C6H12O6, 6O2, 6CO2, 6H2O and energy. In that cases, what is happening then? Then we are saying that this CO2 is coming out as a product of respiration from my body, obviously product of respiration. Now this CO2 will come out from my body from where? Nose, means my respiratory organs, you can say respiratory system is going to give out, but this reaction is taking place in, this reaction is occurring in mitochondria of cell for me and in cytoplasm of bacteria. For bacteria this is occurring in cytoplasm, for me this is occurring in mitochondria, something like this. But the reaction is same, means the interaction between the molecule is same. That's why we say whatever function is performed by a living organism in the surrounding is because of certain underlying interaction which are actually interaction among molecules, which is actually interaction among molecules. Here I will mention the functions exhibited by any organism. Any organism means irrespective of the level, whether it is at cell level, tissue level, organ system level, all of them at any level, right? Functions exhibited by any organism at any level because of underlying interactions. Okay, it is underlying interactions. What are these interactions actually? You can say like this: the property of tissue is because of the interaction between the cell, not because of cell. Remember, it is not because of the cell, it is because of interaction between the cells. Same type, the property of a cell is because of molecules, wrong. Because of interaction between molecules, right. The molecules that are present in one kind of a cell are going to interact with each other so that the cell can perform the function distinguishedly from the other type of cell, right? This is the thing, remember. Okay, very important line. So here we are saying all organisms, present, past, future, okay, means those which are living with us, those who lived with our ancestral forms, I am saying in the terms of species, right? And those who are going to replace us, plus replacing the other type of organism in the habitat, they are going to be same because they have the common kind of genetic material, that is DNA, although the type of organisms possess different amount of DNA. There is an indirect evidence, means theoretical type of evidence, which shows that DNA is the genetic material. How? It is like alike organisms have same amount of DNA in them, like all human beings will have same amount of DNA. Okay, the same way I can say, if we are human being, we are different from other type of mammals or other type of animals or any kind of plant because of the amount of DNA they possess or we possess. That's it. Okay, so the DNA is going to be in varying degrees in different type of organism, which make these organisms different from each other, right? So coming to the next one, it is about if the life forms are of different kinds, or we are saying the life forms are of different type, it will be diversity. So the diversity means, in the beginning we have studied about a term that is called as species. The term was however given by John Ray, but the biological concept of species, which was based on gene pool, was given by Ernest Mayr. So we are saying the type and the number of species are going to decide the biodiversity. Here we say biology is going to include the study of that biodiversity, means the different kind of life forms, how the life occurs, means the different life forms. But biology also include how the life originated, means it must be about what? Evolution as well. Means biology is not only including the type of organisms to be studied, it is including that how these organisms originated in the surroundings, right? Both things. Evolution plus life forms, biodiversity plus evolution of life forms, that is included in biology. So here comes the thing, when we are saying about biodiversity, as I told you that biodiversity is a result of evolution. So when we are saying about evolution, it's a different topic, it must be in the other chapters, not here. Okay, so biodiversity is, in cases biodiversity is stated by, or the term was given by W.G. Rosen, and we used to state the definition as the number and the types of organisms present on the earth. I can rather mention this as what? The number and types of species. The number and types of species are responsible for this. Okay, the number and types of species are going to decide what? Biodiversity. So here we say, as per the calculated value or the recognized number of species are about 1.7 to 1.8 million. Recognized, not estimated. Estimated value is somewhere around 70 million, 70. And how much or how many of them are identified or named? 1.7 to 1.8 million, 17 to 18 lakhs. Okay, remember million, not billion. Estimation is 70 million, but only a small part is getting recognized till now. Fine, we need to have more type of or many other new kind of tools so that we can recognize more number of species. Okay, so the thing that we need to know about, that what that study is called. Okay, that will be called as taxonomy, means where we are going to identify the organism and grouping them. But beforehand, because it is not easy to study these many type of organism. How many type of organism? As I told you, 1.7 to 1.8 million. It is not easy to study each and every individual organism. So if it is not possible, then what to do? That's the problem. So here I am saying this thing, that there is a large size of biodiversity, 1.7 to 1.8 million. Even hundreds of species I am going to study on daily basis, then also I am not at all able to complete them. The reason is usual, because first of all their large number. Number two, every year about 15,000 new species are getting discovered. It's not at all easy for me. It will take years to complete the species, and by that time may be possible that I am going to lose the character or going to lose the capability of retaining the characters of all type of species. Nextly, if we are considering about different one, the establishment of relationship between organism, the organism that are known to us, how they are related to each other, we want to know that one as well. Thirdly, we are saying that proper identification of organism must be done. Identification means you need to study the characters properly, that what kind of things are present. Okay, what features are exhibited in the type of organism. Okay, so here we say the fourth one is that it is not only about biology, but other branches of biology are also there. Means it is not only botany or zoology. Agriculture requires study of organisms or study of plants so that they can be cultivated, which crop is better, which is not, who is going to give better yield, who is resistant to diseases, clear, which type of variety is resistant to any type of pest or pathogen, etc. That's why we need to do characterization, we need to study them a lot. The same way genetic engineering is that particular branch in which we are looking for the desired gene. We are thinking of to integrate the different desirable genes into one organism. Oh great. So in that cases we need to study number of organisms. But studying number of organisms is not easy because the size is too much large. Okay. So they are saying instead of that, create some groups and make the representatives. Okay, so that kind of thing will be named as classification. I repeat, that will be named as classification. In simple language I can say classification is needed because as characters of all the kinds of species can't be memorized. Right? To make representatives means instead of studying all, it is better to create representatives. Of the group. That kind of thing. So what classification is actually? So here we say the classification is something where we say anything is grouped into convenient categories. Where anything is grouped into convenient categories on the basis of observable characters. See, earlier people means in the older time when there were not so many type of tools or techniques to study the structure of organism or to view the characters of organism, in that era people were using use of organisms like what? Food, fodder, medicine, fiber, etc. as basis of classification. Oh wow, means what they were using in the beginning? In beginning they were using what? Use. What is the use of organism was the criteria to classify organisms into groups. Obviously this is not going to be more appropriate. We need some other methods as well. We'll discuss it, that how the things got changed with the time. So here we say that the term or the group that is made on any criteria, any basis, whatever be the character taken to make the groups, is called as taxa. We are saying taxa for plural, and we are saying singular is called as taxon. In singular we call it as taxon. A group is made according to any type of character. Say for example, I am making a group of organisms which can be seen at your home, domesticated animals, right? Now I am just considering the pet animals I am going to put here. It may be cow, buffalo, horse, some people may have donkey, right? Parrot, some people may have snakes as well. Here the snake charmers will have snake. Other people may have monkeys at their home. It's possible, right? Some people may have dogs, other people having cat. Now people are obviously domesticating or keeping rabbits also at their home. Some people are keeping emu, that bird, at their home. So there are so many different type of domesticated animals, right? I need not to establish any relationship between them. I just said these are domesticated, that's done. I need not to differentiate among how the emu is different from dog. No, I am not at all going to consider these things. I am searching for what? Similarity. The similarity is they all are domesticated. That's it. What to do? Make the group according to similarities, right? Okay. If you are looking for the similarity, the most similar will form group of similar type of organism or one kind of organism. A bigger group will have the organisms of different kinds. Okay. So what kind of group is domesticated animals? It must be something which is random. Organisms are much different from each other. Anyways, so here we are saying each such group is called as taxon, and then we say that taxa can indicate the categories at different levels. What does it mean? As I told you, what? That taxon can be the group of what? Identical organisms, or group of what? Dissimilar organisms. More similar organisms, group of less similar organisms, or you can write even least similar as well. Either. See the degrees, right? A taxa may be having different type of organisms in it. In that cases, we'll have what? different type of degrees, or you can say different type of levels, how much similar they are, how much dissimilar they are. That kind of thing is we are calling as what? The categories. Okay, that is what we are calling as categories. That's it. Okay, this is how we can explain this, right? So coming to the one, those persons who are doing this thing means making the taxa, those are called as taxonomists. Here, based on characteristics, all living organisms can be classified into different taxa. This process of classification is called as taxonomy. Okay, this is called as taxonomy. Let's take some examples. What I am making actually group. Okay, these are different groups. Now see how to define these things. Obviously these all are alike. Suppose these three are alike. Okay, another group is made by these. Okay, fine, the group number 3, and one more group is here, group number 4. So I have how many groups right now? 4. You can consider them as 4 taxa. You can consider them as what? 4 taxa. Right now I am writing it as 4 taxa. Okay, first thing. So this is what called as taxonomy, grouping according to similarity, dissimilarities. Although you can group them together as well. Okay, that will be also named as taxon. They all can be made into one group. In that cases I will call it as taxon. See this. Now see this, the larger group circled by white is having more dissimilar type of organisms in it. The smaller red, blue, white, yellow, they have lesser dissimilarities, means they are unique to their own group, confined. So taxonomy is saying that as much as character you are going to include, that much better type of grouping you can make. Here, that much better type of grouping you can do. Here see this, the external and internal structure. So the external and internal structure in total are called as, the external and internal characters, if I am going to include, what are they named as, or what are they called? The external characters are taken as what? Morphology. These are morphology. Internal structure as anatomy. Along with the structure of the cell, this one is called as cytology. With the developmental process, we call this thing as ontogeny. Okay, and ecological information means ecology. So these all are different branches. See, all are getting integrated while doing taxonomy. Clear? Here they are saying in modern taxonomic studies, or the modern taxonomist, I said those who are studying taxonomy or doing taxonomy are called as taxonomists. So modern taxonomists are including morphology, anatomy, cytology, ontogeny, ecology as the basis for grouping the organisms, right? But remember one more thing, that this is a story of older days. Now people are saying that as you made the group, you need to establish certain relationships among them. How? It may be like you need to study it properly. Just do a comparison with the red and yellow, and according to that comparison, try to relate them, whether they are more related to each other or less related to each other. Maybe like this. See, it may be possible that you can get such kind of groups. How? Like one, first of the case, that they want to say that this white and yellow are more similar as compared to yellow and red, or as compared to yellow and blue. Okay, but they are saying that this blue is also related, means nextly the similarity is coming with the blue. See the gradient, see the gradient. So they are saying the next group is like this. Okay, close relative, distant relative, and too much distant relative is this one. Which word I have used? I said relative, means relations. First I made the group, now I am saying taxonomy I have done, now I am saying about relationships. Now as I am using relationship, it is going to be a step beyond the taxonomy. This is called as systematics. Here first what I did, taxonomy means I just made the groups. Now after this I have just included what? Relationship among the groups. In total this is called as what? Systematics. In total this is called as systematics. So remember this one thing, the taxonomy and systematics are little bit different nowadays, or you can say there is a thin line difference between the two words nowadays. Taxonomy along with the relationship is systematics, means these all characters, these all whatever written here, means external morphology, means morphology, second anatomy, third cytology, fourth development, fifth one is ecology, and next one more is getting included, and that is called as phylogeny. That will be systematics. Here it comes. So taxonomy and systematics are two different terms. Taxonomy is a Greek word, whereas systematics is a Latin word. Okay, this was given by A.P.D. Candolle, whereas Carolus Linnaeus proposed the term systematics. Carolus Linnaeus, father of taxonomy, right? Means a legion person, definitely. Grouping of organism on the basis of character over taxonomy. Which characters? Tell me fast. Tell me as fast as possible. I can say one is external character. Which one? Morphology. Number 2, which character? Internal character, means anatomy. Number 3, which character? Yeah, cell structure, means cytology. Then fourth one is which character? Ecology. One more I can add, that is developmental, means ontogeny. Fine. These all characters are getting included in taxonomy. If modern taxonomy is considered, the classical taxonomy was including only morphology. Modern taxonomy is including all these. Other way, this one, the systematics takes into account, see what they are saying, grouping of organism as well as establishing relationship among them. So which kind of relationship they are exhibiting or trying to establish here? So that establishment of the relationship, like who originated first, who is the ancestral form, which one is primitive, which is advanced. This is evolutionary relationship. This is only called as evolutionary relationship. In the other term, this is called as phylogeny. So got it? Means the main difference. The taxonomy wasn't including phylogeny, systematics is going to use. That's it. Simple. Okay. Nowadays there is one more term in use, and that is named as biosystematics. Or another word for the same thing is called as neosystematics. Okay. If it is biosystematics and neosystematics, in that cases, bio, neo. So when we are mentioning bio or neosystematics, the term was given by Huxley. Huxley proposed the term, and we are mentioning about Huxley in that cases. Huxley proposed this thing, and he said actually what exists in our surrounding, as we have discussed in the initial class, means the first class of living world, that what is existing around us is considered to be species, but according to Huxley, what exist around us is subspecies or varieties, means the evolving forms. Okay, he said that what exists in nature is subspecies. The word is used for animals. Varieties used for plants. Exist in nature. They are considering evolving forms to exist. Okay, right? That is biosystematics or neosystematics. Anyways, we have learned here how the taxonomy and systematics terms are different from each other, or how they are similar. Remember this. This is modern taxonomy, right? If anyone is going to ask you that which is classical taxonomy, so classical taxonomy was based on morphology, only on morphology, means the external characters. Okay, fine. Going to the next one, here we talk about that what kind of processes are going to be there in taxonomy or systematics. So first we say you need to do characterization or identification, means study all the things which are present so that you can mention the thing rightly. Then only the name, nomenclature or name is given, nomenclature is done according to the characters. The name will also indicate that where this organism is to be kept or to which group it belongs to, right? Name is too much informative for the organisms, means the scientific names. But remember, it is not like naming the human beings. We are not at all bothered about that what is the character of individual and what is the name. We are ignoring. People may be named something very gentle, but their habits or their kind of behavior in the society may be kind of evils. So here we say that that's why. So it is totally different one. This is the scientific approach actually. What characters are present are going to the key for providing the name. Okay, so the thing that we are going to study here is characterization, classification, nomenclature. Remember, these are not the steps. The step must be like, first is characterization, identification, second is nomenclature, third is classification. Be clear about this. Here only random way I have mentioned. I will mention in the sequence. So here we say are the processes that are the basic of taxonomy or basic to taxonomy and later getting added to systematics also. So if anyone is asking what are the steps in systematics, same these three, steps in taxonomy these three. Here in the sequence, if I am going to write, the sequence will be, if I write A, this is B, this is C given, I will say the first will be done as what? A, then will be C, then will be B, is the sequence. So a question is made. Here, how to perform taxonomy in this sequence? The characterization or identification, then nomenclature and then classification. Anyways, next, the nomenclature of an organism. Why nomenclature is needed actually? Actually, why we are saying that if anything is having a name, it is easy to recognize it or to establish it or to mention its users, right? Without naming it, we are not at all able to tell any person that what kind of thing I have got. If I am saying that this is stylus, so here people can look for it. Okay, if I am saying that this is a marker, okay, people can call this one also as marker. If I am calling this as marker, definitely the person is going to search about this. If I am going to say remote, the person is going to search about this only. Means if any object is having a name, it is easy to find it out. Okay, if the name is not there, then what you are going to say? I need something that is going to change the screen. That is illogical, right? So here we are saying nomenclature, we know the plants and animals, okay, but by what name we are calling the plants, particularly say the example of vegetables. We used to call vegetables by their local names also. Where means local names by local, or you may be calling them by English language. Okay, maybe your local language is something different, Bengali, Gujarati, clear, or maybe it is Hindi, but you know some other languages name also, usually English, because you are studying that language, that's it. So if you are knowing these names in the local language, the problem will be when you are going to migrate to a new place. Say for example, if you get shifted from Bengal to any South India state, then how you are going to call a vegetable? Fortunately, the vegetable sellers, those vegetable sellers in India used to keep the vegetables in open and they are obviously on the display. That's why I am able to identify that which type of vegetable do I need. I need the eggplant. What is eggplant? We know brinjal. What is eggplant then? People can call it as eggplant as well. In Hindi we can call it as bagan, but in other languages the names are different. So that's why we need a kind of name which is going to be global, which is going to be uniform throughout the world. Okay, so local names are going to be a problem. How they are a problem? Because we are saying there is a need to standardize. What's the problem? The problem with the local names are, local names means in local language. Local names in local language. It means they have synonyms. Different language, different names of the same thing. Now synonyms are creating a big confusion. You are not at all able to tell about your required vegetable to someone. So this synonyms will be a problem. We need to abolish synonyms. I need to avoid it. Because of this synonym, I am saying there is a need to standardize the naming of living organisms such that a particular organism is known by the same name all over the world. Okay, same name all over the world. That type of thing they used to state. Fine, this is nice. If it is so, in that cases I am going to propose not the vernacular name. These local names are called as vernacular names. These vernacular names are not going to be established worldwide. We have the problem with vernacular names. Why? Because they have synonyms and I don't want synonyms actually. So they are saying if you are going to name it, in that cases first you need to do the correct identification, then only it is better. Why I said this? See, for example, in local languages synonyms are there, but if you are going to describe any particular kind of vegetable or any kind of living organism, the person may be able to understand about it, that which type of things you are asking about. Okay, if you are telling the character of a particular type of vegetable correctly, exactly, person may be probably going to identify it. So that's why a proper identification, characterization is needed before telling the name. Okay, before proposing the name you need to tell about what? Identification, right? That's why I told you in the previous slide that identification or characterization is done first, thereafter is nomenclature, and then lastly classification. Okay, so here comes the scientific naming, and the scientific names we are saying same name to the organism all over the world. Clear? Right? So they are given in Latin. Who told this thing? Carolus Linnaeus. Recommends Latin language. Carolus Linnaeus recommends Latin language, right? In that cases we are saying that written in italics or underlined. If it is written in italics or if it is underlined, then how we can mention these things? So they are saying italics, remember. Italics, that is the same one, the tilted one. Okay, when you are printing, or you need to underline it when you are writing, or handwritten, right? When handwritten, underline when handwritten. Fine. So scientific names are going to ensure that each organism has only one name, means to abolish synonyms. This is to abolish synonyms. And number two, to ensure that such a name has not been used for any other known organism, means to avoid homonyms. Right? So this is synonym and homonym. This is how we can mention the two, right? These two things are actually based on the most important rule of scientific nomenclature. right? If we are saying the most important rule for scientific nomenclature, what we need to study, okay, or what particular thing we need to mention here. The most important rule of scientific nomenclature, if we are telling, it means that we are discussing about principle of priority. That is called as principle of priority. See why it is applied or why it is useful or most important one. So here is the thing. Say for example, in two different places, while discovering the same type of plant or same type of organism, the two person along with the place and the date gave different names to that particular species. A species A discovered in Germany, the same species A was discovered in Japan as well. In Germany it was discovered in February 2020. In Japan it was discovered in March 2020. So if all things goes well, the person who discovered in Germany is going to get the credit. Okay, he is going to keep that name which was proposed first. The later name proposed by the Japanese will be considered as synonym. Okay, by this way there is only one valid name. The same thing is applied if the species A was discovered in Germany, species B was discovered in Japan. Species A was discovered in Germany and was discovered in month January 2019. The other species B was discovered in September 2019 in Japan. Now unfortunately the two persons have given the same name to A and B type of species. So here again the German will win. German will say that this name belongs to us, or this kind of plant A or species A. Why? Because we have used the term for the first time. So two organisms cannot have the same name. One organism cannot have two names. Okay, the two organisms cannot have the same name. Homonym, cut. Where the same organism cannot have more than one name. Synonyms, cut. Okay, fine. Going to the other one, if this is known to me, then I need to consider that what type of principle and criteria to be followed. The principle and criteria for nomenclature are actually based on the books which were published by Carolus Linnaeus, and those books becomes the fundamental for setting up the codes. International Code for Botanical Nomenclature means algae, fungi and plantae were named according to this code ICBN, now as ICN, International Code of Nomenclature, now as ICN. Whereas for animals it is International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. The others are also there. Means for plants we have ICN, for animals we have ICZN, for bacteria it is ICNB, International Code for Nomenclature of Bacteria. For virus we have ICTV, International Code for Taxonomy of Virus. Okay, so here we say the thing that Carolus Linnaeus wrote the book, one Species Plantarum and the other one Systema Naturae. Now these two books become very much important in the cases. Why for? Because this person who Carolus Linnaeus mentioned about 5,900 plant species in his book Species Plantarum and 4,356 animal species in his book Systema Naturae. Now when he was telling about these things, in that cases we can mention that because of this work only, Carolus Linnaeus, the legend is named father of taxonomy. Okay, these 5,900 plants are classified and given scientific name according to a method which is popularized by Carolus Linnaeus himself, that is called as binomial nomenclature. Here in these Systema Naturae, 4,356 species of animals were provided with binomial nomenclature. Okay, he classified and named them scientifically. So after this, what we are going to follow in most of the cases is binomial nomenclature. Okay, that will be binomial nomenclature only. So if I am going to follow binomial nomenclature, what other rules I need to keep in my mind while giving name to any kind of organism? Let's take an example of mango. Yes, mango is common name. For Mangifera indica. Mango is common name for Mangifera indica. And what I am observing here, that this much portion Mangifera indica is printed in italics. Okay, this one is printed in italics. Okay, wait, I am not going to underline it here or it will create a confusion right now. So here I am saying, or else I need to underline them separately, the two parts. The third part is not underlined, it is abbreviated form of the name of author who gave the name, Linnaeus. Here abbreviated form of the name, Lin, right? Abbreviated as Linnaeus. So Mangifera indica, the character that I am saying here, or the feature that I need to remember, that each scientific name, how many parts? 1 and 2. The third part is of author. The part 1 and 2, scientific name, 1 plus 2, has two components, the generic, starting with what? Capital letter, see Mangifera. Specific, the second part, starting with a small letter, you can see here I. Okay, if anyone is going to write this one is small, wrong. If this indica starting with the capital letter, wrong. If both are starting from the capital letter, wrong. If both are starting from small letter, wrong. Be clear about this. The next feature if we are discussing is about the name of the author, means which part? Part number 3 appears after the specific epithet, is written in an abbreviated form. This is abbreviated, right? Number next, it is not underlined, it is in Roman font. It is in Roman font. Italics means which is tilted, right? Roman font means erect, or you can say it is not underlined, need not to be Latin in origin. Okay, the other character, the next one, the next character that I can mention here, if more than 2 parts are there, here only 2, if more than 2 parts are there, then what to do? Then please join the parts and follow binomial nomenclature. Here we say that the name example is hibiscus, rosa sinensis, but binomial nomenclature says there will be only 2 parts in the valid name joined by a hyphen. Now there are only 2 parts. Okay, nextly we used to say that ICN, formerly ICBN, now as ICN, provides the code for naming plants, fungi, algae, that type of character they used to mention. Okay, nice, but remember one more thing, that these codes are not similar for plants, animals and other groups. There may be differences between plants and animals for these kind of things. Okay, fine. Okay, we have studied the rules for the plants. There may be certain differences in animals and other groups from plants, right? That's why we have different type of codes. ICN for plants, ICZN for animals, right? ICTV for virus, ICNB for bacteria. There must be some reason for it. Okay, so here is the thing which we used to study as taxonomic categories. Now we are moving to classification. If I am going to classify something from a group, from larger group to the smaller one, means where more dissimilarity to more similarity, or where more similarity to more dissimilarity, in that cases definitely I am going to create what? Categories. Just I explained in the previous one also. So categories are created when you have a group which is having more dissimilar type of organisms in it. Okay, so here we say the classification is not a single step process. 2 meanings of this. 1, the classification is requiring nomenclature as well as identification, either you can take like this, or the second way is just in continuity, that each step here represent the rank or category, and together these rank or categories are going to all categories constituting what? Taxonomic hierarchy. They are going to create what? Taxonomic hierarchy, right? If we have this kind of thing, taxonomic hierarchy type of thing, we are saying that each category is actually considered as unit of classification. Small unit of classification, big unit of classification, the unit which is having similar type of organism, the unit which is having less similar type of organism. Fine. Okay, so each of that unit is called as taxon. Each taxon is actually a category as well. So here they say that these taxonomic groups are not at only morphological groups, but they are something different also. Here we see this type of example. See, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different members are there, and they are saying that these all are forming a group, right? They all are forming a group. But I am now going to segregate them according to their numbers, or I am going to segregate them according to their characters. So here is the group that I have created out of these. Okay, the like members were kept together like this way. The others which are less similar, I am going to keep them separately. Different. Okay, this is how I am going to segregate them according to their similarities or characters, right? Means I am saying this, these have same type of characters in them. So here I am saying this is what? Taxon. Now here I have made how many taxon? 3 taxa, right? Now here are 3 different taxa. Why? Because this 1, 2, 3 are what? Ranks, levels or categories. Okay, these are what? Ranks, levels or categories. So that type of thing we can compare over here. Okay, so here I am saying these taxonomic categories or taxonomic groups are distinct biological entities. They are different from each other and not merely morphological aggregate. Okay, you need to consider it very clearly that they are not at all exactly same to each other. They may be different from each other. They may be similar to each other. You need to study their characters in a more clear way, right? So if I am going to study what are the categories or what are the labels, here from species I will start and will end in kingdom. These are 7 obligate categories. These are 7 obligate categories. And together they are called as linear hierarchy. Okay, this linear hierarchy is having species at bottom. Species at bottom means this will be considered as what? What is present in our surrounding actually. Species we used to consider means this is natural unit of classification, or you can call it as most fundamental also. Why? Because all the organisms are same in the species. This is to be considered the natural or fundamental unit of classification. Means these all are showing the members within the species. All of them are showing same characters or similar characters. Most similar, right? Species means most similar. Kingdom means least similar. Okay, so other words I can write more number of common characters. Whereas this one here I will say more number of general characters. You can say least of common characters. Oh, general and common are not same, right? General and common are opposite here. So as I am going from species means the lowermost group to the other one, each is called as unit of classification. Remember, species is the unit of classification who is having most common characters among the organisms. Then division is the group where the number of similar characters are getting less, right? That type of character we used to state. Remember this thing very clearly, right? As you are going to the other one means from species to the kingdom, the similarities are decreasing and dissimilarities are increasing. When we are coming from the random collection means from the kingdom toward the species, at that time the common characters are increasing. We can consider this with the certain examples. To follow standardization, ICN is suggesting certain type of epithets, certain kind of suffix. For example, for family they are saying the suffix ACE, If you remember Solanaceae, Brassicaceae, Poaceae, Liliaceae, Fabaceae. order will end in the word ales. The same way class will end in the word monocotyledonate, dicotyledonate. This is for higher plants, okay? Or if it is from bryophyta, pteridophyta, lower plant group, it will be Opsida. Because algae are also classified according to ICBN or named according to ICBN. So the classes of algae are here: Phyceae, Rhodophyceae, Phaeophyceae, Basilarophyceae, Chlorophyceae, these all. Or the classes of fungus are also named according to ICBN or ICN. Mycetes, okay, Zygomycetes, Phycomycetes, Actinomycetes, Deuteromycetes, Ascomycetes, these all are what? Fungus. Division is going to end with the suffix phyta. Bryophyta, pteridophyta, spermatophyta, intophyta, means these are showing division. And animals, we use the word phylum instead. Here we are not using division, that will be phylum. Okay, go through the example that is given in the NCERT book, and here they are saying that see this ACEAE, ACEAE, ales, ales, NAE, NAE. Okay, the other ways, see in the animals, what? In animals you can observe these things. In animals you can observe Idae, the family is ending with Idae. Okay, something different, right? In plants it is ending with ACEAE. In animals it is ending with Idae. Okay, fine. So this is how we need to remember about the examples. So this is for the today's class. You need to go through the remaining topic, that is taxonomic aids. In the next class we are going to consider a little bit more kind of example for the same thing, means the hierarchy. What type of question can be asked from it. Hope you are following the daily practice paper for the topics given and taught in the class. Thank you for watching. All the best from Yupp Master team.